Are we live now?
You're alive. You're alive. Yeah.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's show. And I hope that we will all benefit from today's show. It's all about long distance relationship. We know that every relationship has its own dynamics, but today we'll be talking specifically about long distance relationship, either in courtship or in marriage. And we are not looking at just one side. We want to hear from different people, we want to get comment from people what they think, and we will also talk about what we think. Thank you. So at the moment I just have Mr. Abdul.
Showed.
Good evening, sir.
Hi, good
Good
evening.
to
How you
have you
doing?
here today. I'm
Hi,
fine, thank
viewers.
you.
Good to have you guys on the show this evening. And like Sharon has mentioned, we'll be discussing the pros and the cons of long distance relationship. So it's always a pleasure to be on the show, Sharon. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Maybe let me just start from you, since you're the only one now present now. So what do you think about long distance relationship? Either you may either want to start from the pros, or maybe you want to talk about the cons. Anyone, any which way. What do you think?
Basically, I don't think anyone would really want a long distance relationship, you know, but circumstances beyond people's control might result to people having a long distance relationship. So, if you ask my opinion, it's not something I would want to do. It's a no no for me. But like I said, if these circumstances come and it's actually it comes beyond my control, I will have no choice. So yeah, long distance relationship, it has a whole lot of access. It has a whole lot of hassles, a whole lot of troubles. But basically, I think what really keeps long distance relationship is the
The
trust,
tr-
sincerity, the communication, especially people in long distance relationship just want to communicate all the time. And if you want your long distance relationship to be successful, you must be a very good communicator. You can't be someone that not just want to talk all the time. You must be ready to talk all the time, because the other partner probably want to know what you're doing at a particular time, where you are at that particular time, what's wrong with you at that particular time. So you must be open, sincerely, very, very open. You know. So by and large, it's not something I would really encourage, but like I said, yeah, situations, circumstances beyond people's control might lead to people having distance relationship. Yeah, and to be sincere, a lot of people have had it and it's worked for them, fine and good. It's not entirely totally bad. I'm sure when the other guys come on board and they will be able to also talk about the good side of it. Yeah, but that would come later for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let me just start as well, by way of introduction. Long distance relationship is, when people are in relationship, either courtship or marriage, and they are living apart or far away from each other. I don't mean maybe being in the next bus stop or next. No, that's not what I mean. But sometimes geographical location, could actually separate intending couples. It could also separate people who are married. So if I'm to look at it maybe from the point of people who are not married, and are in long distance courtship, I feel that in order for the relationship to work well, they need to know themselves. Like Barrister Abdul said, they need to be able to communicate well. It's not like, saying, oh, I don't like talking, I'm tired, or I just want to keep quiet, emotional, like all this silence treatment and all that. It won't work. And sometimes, some people like it deliberately, They like to just, oh, I just want my intending partner to be elsewhere, or intending husband to be elsewhere. I want to just live separately. Some people like it for some reasons. And sometimes, and I think maybe Mr. Abdul, you would have to take us on that. Sometimes it could be part of what people have seen growing up. Some things don't just happen deliberately. I know for relationship, we don't have to be together before we get married, but there must be boundaries. There must be, agreements when we get married, or when those two people get married. Do they still want to continue to live apart, or do they want to live together? What would be their plans? Okay, why I'm saying this is that sometimes when maybe one person says, I don't want to live with my wife, that may be that maybe there's no agreement, but rather control. So let me just pause there. So what do you think, Mr. Abdul, with regards to, living apart or wanting
Okay,
to?
I don't really know why people would say from beginning that they just want to live apart. I think it's personal. I will give an example. I just recall I used to know someone way back. And she said to me, um, she said she would rather prefer to be a second wife and live in her own house, separate from the man. So we're chatting that and said that she doesn't want a situation where a man will come home and keep his shoe in the parlor when your your shoes should be properly kept somewhere. That she likes her things in orderly manner. So that's the reason why she would prefer to live in separate house. I'm not sure if that means separate cities or separate countries. But she said she would like to live in separate house, and she would rather be a second wife and the man is somewhere else, not disturbing her. So I think that just would just be one of the very few. And I don't think encouraging people starting a new marriage to live apart is not really something I would encourage. Yeah, maybe later in their marital life, later in their life, yeah, people could not. I don't think there's gonna be anyone who is going to deliberately want to live apart. You know, yeah. But I know for sure that even sometimes long distance relationship have kept some relationship for a longer period. I've seen the relationship where people have dated for years. They were separate, not living together, separate cities. But as soon as they got married, that marriage didn't last 6 months because they now live together. They now understand themselves more. So I begin to wonder. So probably if they decide to live apart from from the very first time they got married, I decided to have a long distance marriage. Maybe that would have kept the marriage for eventually longer than 6 months. You know, but basically, I think the concept of long distance relationship is not something people would really want to do. People will really, whether in courtship or in marriage. But like I said earlier, situations, circumstances beyond people control would um, have that happen. I know I've seen a lot of people who are probably because of greener pastures they were dating and one decide to leave the country, leave the shores of Nigeria, and after some years come back and they get married. So in the course of the 2, 3, 4, 5 years they were apart, there are instances where neither of them ever visited, but they kept the relationship going. There's situations where, or there are instances where they get to visit themselves once a year or once in 2 years. But I've seen instances where they never visited, but they kept going and the relationship kept waxing stronger. So basically, what kept it is the communication. Communication is very key in relationship. So for you, if you decide to try the long distance relationship, I'm not saying it's totally bad. If you decide to do it, you must be a very good communicator. You must be ready at any time to communicate with your partner. The partner should know where you are at any particular time. No matter, yeah, it can be sometimes it can be tedious, it can be demanding. You want the physical affection, you want the physical touch, and the other party is not there, you know. But if you communicate well and you're able to discuss, you know, I see people who probably talk until the other parts slip off and end the call, you know. So by and large, long distance relationship is not entirely.
So thank you for for the foundation once again that you laid. You said they must be expert at communicating. I will just put it that way. They must be expert. So, and there are people that say, oh, they don't like talking. And you said, the one of the last statement you said, oh, the other partner will just sleep off. So, so for me, if you are to ask me, that's like a sign that this person maybe perhaps is not interested or is tired. Okay, let me start from simple things first. Because maybe this person is tired, has had a stressful day. Maybe. But if it's a
Communication,
continuous thing, yeah,
communication.
yeah,
Hi, I've had a long day at work today and I'm so tired. Yeah, as soon as I get home, I'll just let you know I'm home. I need to drop off my phone and I need to sleep. It's
yes,
communication.
yes,
Do you know what I
yes,
mean? It's communication, basically. Long distance relationship, even for you know, reaction, even people who live together, they still have to communicate.
exactly,
So if
yes,
people like that are communicating, so why would those practicing the long distance relationship not know how to communicate? You
yes.
must be a very good communicator. Yes, sir. It looks like we have Tunde on board now. Hi, Tunde. Are you ready to speak?
Everyone, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes, loud
we
and
can hear
clear,
you
sir.
now.
It's been a very terrible day. I'm using the wrong device for this show. I'm so sorry. I I thought I could just manage do with what I have here, but it has been failing me. Okay, so I'm hearing from the back, and I was trying to join. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Sheon, for holding on. And thank you, Abdul. I heard you call Abdul barista. We once had a barista Abdul Liman, so I'm sure Sheon was
Yeah.
on the show.
So, so
Yeah,
thank you for
that
that
was using
clarification.
Abdul Liman.
I'm grateful, sir. Yes, yes. So
Okay,
over
you
to
could
you,
go
Uncle
on.
Tunde. No, over to you. Myself and Mr. Abdul, we've shared some things. So over to you now. So what do you think about long distance relationship? We are still trying to still talk about
Okay,
communication.
okay. For me, long distance. Um, I, I believe that long distance passes. When we talk about relationship, I like to look at it from the angle of both dating and marriage. Um, those that are married are also they also in long distance marriage, long distance relationship, and those are courting. We find that people call is now that global. I hear me loud and clear. Hope I'm not too faint. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we
So
can hear
I'll
you.
say,
You're doing very well.
okay,
Just go on
all right.
today.
Okay. So I was saying that I like to look at this topic from to embrace in courtship, um, those that are in marriage. So for global village, we are we are all united, and things like this long distance relationship will definitely occur. Mobility of labor will always take place. Immigration, migration, and all always happen. And so because man needs to the human needs for survival, we make them leave domicile currently to other places where they feel that they would have better chances. And so they leave their connection in the first place where they were once domicile to get a greener pasture. And so when this happened, the connection they once had in the former place, they take it along with themselves to the new place. And this brings about long distance. Like I said, both encompasses even friendship. I and Abdul, we are friends from we are child, but for a long time we've not been seeing each other. So that's why topic um it's, there are more positive. I mean, there are negative to it when it comes to the issues of emotional relationship, like marriage and courtship. It does more harm than good. So I'd like to stop here and you want to engage further with me on that topic, on other questions.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tunde Gold. Thank you. Um, I just want to, quickly talk about, and we would all talk about, like some of the disadvantages. Well, I know that at different points in life, we meet ourselves at, well, we are at different stages in life. Couples are different stages in life. People who are in relationship are different stages in life. Mr. Tunde, okay, can you mute, please? Okay, so we're all at different stages of life. Like for instance, okay, maybe somebody a couple might travel, and all the families cannot go all at once because it has to get accommodation, sort out so many things. So whilst trying to do all that, like Mr. Abdul said, he must communicate, or either of the partner, both of them must communicate excellently well so that there won't be any issue of trust. There must be boundaries. Whilst the man or the woman, or whilst they are still waiting for the families, to join, you should not harbor any single woman at home. Yes, because that might mean something. Sometimes I see that we try to hide things, we try to pretend as if some things don't happen, but I'm not of the opinion that things don't happen. I'm of the opinion that things happens, even worse things happens, in long distance relationships or in even closely knitted relationships. So, and that's where the balance, or the boundary, sorry, comes in. You are away, your wife is not around.
Your wife is not around it, your around it, your wife is not around it, your wife is not around it.
Okay, sorry, if you're away and your wife is not around or your husband is not around, you should, live a kind of life that people will say, oh, this person is actually holding on. This person loves his or her family, not the one that people are not even sure. Okay, let me give an instance. I remember, somebody, you know, just an example, talking about a relationship that, oh, she used to know a man, the families, they're still in Nigeria. And her husband used to say to this man, you better bring your wife. But he just thought he's actually punishing his wife. But before he knew, or what happened, another lady is in his house and the woman is pregnant, you know, pregnant, but he has his own children back at home and his wife. And he cannot even bring them again because someone else is carrying his baby. And sometimes, if you look at some of those dynamics, some of those relationships, maybe the woman has been waiting for 5 years, hoping that, yes, this man would actually bring her abroad, And then for those people who are not even in marriage relationship, who are just in courtship, for them maybe perhaps the yardstick to marrying that man is just because the man is abroad. I just tell people that that's another recipe for disaster. Being abroad does not make people good. There are people who are abroad who are wicked, who are bad, who are equally not how do I say it? Not good. Maybe let me just use that word. Who are not faithful. So being, having long distance relationship does not mean yes, because of that I will marry him because he's abroad, I will spend or he will spend dollars. It's not. So let me not say things further. Let me just hold on. So let me allow you, sir, Mr. Abdul, please kindly, just use examples, whatever thing you think.
So, while you were talking, I recall so many years ago during my NYSC days, I served in Lagos, Nigeria, and there's this big uncle. I wouldn't call his name. He was a retired military officer, and he has house close to where we're staying. That's coppers. Yeah, hello coppers. So that's how we became familiar with him. So sometimes in the evenings we go to his house. This was shortly when there were mobile phones, but there were no smartphones as we have now back then. So he has this box phone in his house. His family were abroad. 7 p.m. the wife must call. It's a routine. 7 p.m. she must call. So he must be home to take that call. After the call, you can decide to go out. But it's a routine. And she calls the landline. That is the communication. That was their agreements. So in keeping long distance relationship, there must be agreements. And both parties must stick to that agreement. You see, it's even more easier now that we have smartphones. So a lot of time, people in long distance relationship don't even need to do voice call. It's totally video call. And if you must keep your long distance relationship, when we're talking about relationship, I'm talking about all the marriage, the courtship, and everything. You must be open. If I'm in a relationship with you, Shaun, and we are far apart, basically, except you are probably in a compromising state, or you're in a place that you can't take call. When I call you video call, you should be able to take your call. I do not need to say, hi, Shaun, can I call video call? I get your permission. That is where the openness is. When you call me video call, I should be able to take my video call any day, anytime, except on some some occasions, except sometimes when it's not what I mean not convenient. It's not about it not being convenient for you, but the fact that maybe at that particular time you're not in a comfortable place to take the video call, because if you must do video call, it's always better. It's video calls, put your phone on a speaker phone, except you have your earbuds or your earpiece for you to listen. You know what I'm saying? So basically, so agreements, like the example you probably cite, there's probably not an agreement. And another thing, people should also learn to seek advice. People should also learn to speak with experts. People should learn to speak with communicators. Now, I used to know a couple. They were was both in Nigeria. They were living in different cities because of work schedule. So the man was the one with the kids. His work was also the demanding. So the wife work was also demanded, and because it was more of he was probably based in Abuja and she was in other cities. When because of the kind of lifestyle, when you live apart, there's a certain lifestyle. See, that's why I said we've seen relationship where it lasted longer when they were apart, but as soon as they came together, it didn't last. It's because of the lifestyle they were living while they were apart. So what this guy said to me then, he said, "Look, guy, my wife is moving back. She's finally coming. Our work has now brought her down to our city, so we're definitely going to live together. We need to go see an advisor, a counselor. Yeah, people should learn to see counselors." He said to me, "We need to go see a counselor because the life where I was living is totally, I mean, my routine is going to change now. I have somebody taking care of the kids. Most times I'm out. In the evenings, I'm probably out hanging out with my friends. The kids are not small kids, they are way in the secondary school. I'm out hanging out with my friends and I come back late. In the morning, I'm off to work. After work, I'm either from the gym. From the gym, I go hang out with my friends. That routine is going to change now because my wife is coming. You know what I'm saying? So basically, people should learn to seek guidance and counseling if you want to maintain your long distance relationship. And there must be an agreement, there must be communication. And above all, you should avoid temptation. I'm sure that's example you just gave. It might just be one little temptation and woof, it got stuck, man. I don't know. Right. Today, back to you, Shehu. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Abdul. Thank you so much for that wealth of knowledge. Over to you, Mr. Tunde. Thank you so much.
I didn't question. No. What was the question?
No, no, well, I think we're just still talking about well, we talked about the disadvantages of long distance relationship. And for maybe over to Mr. Tunde, how long is long distance relationship? How long? For some people, long distance relationship is 6 months, 1 month, 2 years, whereas for some people it's 15 years, is 20 years. They've not even seen themselves, So and that's why, when we're talking about this long distance relationship, it's different for different people. Some, they've not seen themselves for 20 years, for
Yeah,
12 years. So what do you think, Mr.
that,
Tunde?
can you still hear me well properly?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so it will be a difficult one to really define long. Like you said, different strokes for different folks. Um, we consider as long, but for some people, normal, right? For me, there's no standard to how long is long in distance relationship. But the fact is, how long can you hold on? Because see, the key thing, if it's for marriage now, let me start with marriage. If it's for a couple without and without physical touch, so maybe that will tell us when it is too long,
Sorry,
long
today,
distance.
when you mean physical touch, do you mean handshake? Because you need to let us know now. Do you mean handshake? No, sorry to.
Ah, okay. Okay, like when we're talking about when we're program, we're talking about DNA and all of that. I would say the program was for team they should go and sleep. So maybe tonight too again we'll put a caveat that this program is for 18 plus. The fact is, what is the essence, the core essence of marriage? Long distance marriage. You're talking about long distance marriage. What's the core essence of marriage? It is not even for number one. The number one thing is not for procreation. Number one for intimacy, for companionship. Now, I don't want to go scriptures that believe in the Bible. Remember that the stories in the Bible, how God created the animals, the heaven and earth, and they were all male and female. And but for Adam, there was a partner for Adam, the first man on earth. And so when God had to create a partner, so what is he creating that partner for Adam for? It's for companionship. And the second thing is for procreation. So now when we say companionship now, and you are now having a long distance marriage where there's no intimacy. I have to say I should be very explicit. Where there's no or between the two people. I think the core essence of that is beginning to be dead on arrival. And so, um, for some people in a marital relationship, some with partners um, for 6 months, while you see some others can tell you that they can stay for a year. Some can stay for 2 years. So all of these things differs from persons to persons. So I want to believe that the first thing for us to know what is termed as being too long is for you to go tell us how long can you stay without sexual intimacy with your spouse? How long can you withstand temptation? So if you say you cannot withstand temptation for more than a year, and I don't think that you should stay away. You should have a long distance marriage for more than a year. That's my own analysis. Therefore, long distance relationship, the dating, the courtship, you know, um, by and large, we are supposed to, the core essence of that is for the two parties to get to know themselves, right? So I also feel that once you are apart from yourself, you are not seeing yourself physically, you are just being connected by technology, it is not sufficient enough for you to get to know yourself. There are some innuendos, some verbal communication, some some habits, some some habits that that technology will not allow you to see, that you are supposed to know, that you are supposed to get to know from your spouse. So for a relationship that is to marriage, long in my own opinion, once it's more than 3 months, then you how long do you want to date yourself? You want to court yourself before you get into marriage. So I feel just as there's no standard for these things in marriage or in relationship for dating and singles, their long distance relationship shouldn't be more than 3 months. My own submission.
Today, let me just ask you, do you think anyone would want to intentionally have or practice long distance relationship? Do you think people will intentionally, someone would probably say, look, I would rather have a lady who is far away than somebody who is close to me? You understand? Do you think somebody would intentionally, because for what you're saying, yeah.
I wish Abdul threw that question to me.
okay. Toby, you can as well answer that too. So it's for everybody. Let's look at it, because I feel nobody would intentionally want to practice a long distance relationship. It's circumstances beyond control. But maybe you think, because you are telling people to that you are telling people the length of the time you think is okay. So maybe
let me be the one to answer. Tunde, don't, if you don't mind, I'm going to clarify because I understand Tunde very well. And what Tunde was saying, he said he cannot give a time frame. However, we all agree that long distance relationship is not ideal. We agree that there are people who are in such circumstances not out of their own will, but we definitely will not promote it. We can't condemn people who are in it for circumstances out of their own will. But if something is not the best, then it's not the best. So coming to your question about is there anybody that will just sit down to want to practice it? Bros, I have seen it. I am even seeing it right now. So there are people who are in long distance relationship and are doing their best to come together. There are people who are in long distance relationship and are doing their best to remain apart. And there are many examples. And that comes to the reason for long distance relationship. It could be, I would divide it into two. It could be due to external factors, things beyond your control, things like war, famine, fire, flooding, natural disasters can separate people temporarily or for a very long time, and there's little you can do about it. Prison. Someone is going to prison. Not everybody goes to prison for bad reasons. You can find yourself in prison and you'll be separated from your family. Those are circumstances out of your control. Now, there are those, and also maybe economic reasons, and maybe one member of the family has to travel for the family to go and make things better for them, Then there are the other factors which I will consider as selfish reasons or selfish factors. And why do I call them selfish factors? It's when you look at what is the aim in these cases. So you have people who would say, I prefer to be far apart for reasons such as I don't want see finish. Some would be, I want to be free. And what the freedom entails might be to be able to live a promiscuous lifestyle. Some could be that they feel it's the best way to avoid conflicts in relationships and when they are far apart. And that takes us down to the question that Sheung said, what is the definition of long distance relationship? I looked at the dictionary and it says that when people who are in intimate relationship are separated in such a way that they cannot readily be with each other. So how will I define it? If I wish to be with you in the next 1 week and I cannot just come and be with you, then that's long distance. Or if you call me now that, oh, I have a toothache, I'm in so much pain and I really want to be there to support you, but I can't be there in the next 1, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month. Maybe I have to take some process to get to you. For me, that I would consider as long distance relationship. And in terms of the time frame, it depends. Me, I don't know. Everybody is different. I know of some people that will tell you I can't stay without my husband or my wife for 2 weeks. I don't know how people say they do am. I can't stay 2 weeks. Some will say 1 month. Some will say, me, I'm okay. If you like, make it even day, I'm very okay. Maybe it's after like 6 months to 1 year, they start feeling his absence. However, from experience, once you stay out of someone's life for 3 months or more, it's becoming very, very, very unhealthy. Let's take a cue from Adam and Eve. Satan was able to do what he was able to do because Adam was not around. So while we keep saying the man might be tempted, the woman too might be tempted. Let's not get it twisted. So once it's over 3 months, it's very risky and we usually would not want to encourage it. We know there are extreme circumstances that are unavoidable, but we expect that we are making efforts. What matters is that there's effort to come together. So please do not quote us and just go and meet the husband or whatever and say, oh, it's over 3 months. No, there are extreme situations. What matters is that there is effort. If someone is putting in that effort to make sure you guys are together. Being together is healthy for both the couple relationship and also parental upbringing. Children are best brought up under the guidance of both parents. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Terry. Thank you for those examples and the dictionary meanings. And I think I also need to, I think I also need to add that sometimes it can be a form of emotional abuse. In the sense that I think Mr. Abdul tried to talk about this at the beginning. When there is no agreement, the man or the woman may decide to say that, oh, like somebody cited an example, oh, that lady, she said she wants to just leave alone. She likes it that way. So I believe that a good woman's absence will be felt, and also a good man's absence will be felt. If people are not kind to themselves, well, the man can go as long as he likes. He can be away for 10 months, for 10 years. I don't care. And that's where you will see when people are kind to themselves. And like Dr. Terry has said, that there are some instances, for instance, prison, wars, different things, illegal migrations. Sometimes I also believe that sometimes for illegal migrations, maybe the wife is abroad and she doesn't have papers, so she can't come back home. So at a point in time, she would have to weigh the balance. Okay, let me give an instance. Well, growing up, I saw lots of this kind of things. There was a particular woman, a nurse. She left because her husband had a financial crisis. Then she decided to just go to the US to fend for the family. 10 years, they never saw themselves. This man, looked after the children. She would send money home, and the children went to good schools, private universities. They did very well. And many years after, I was asking somebody, I was like, won't this woman come home? I was still young. And the person said, come home to do what? To do what? And I paused. I was in the university at the time, but I was like, coming home to do what? But our children, one of them got married, she was not around. One of them did this, another one even still got married, which I knew about. And I'm like, okay. And then years after, she said her husband offended her. What did her husband do? He went ahead, he married somebody else. And that was the offense. So, but well, if you look at the situation, she was fending for the family. The man was looking after the children. The children grew. And the man, I don't know why, and for her, so I don't know why, but I think she became stuck. Not I think she became stuck. At some point, even when people have reasons to defend why they are not together, somebody would have to forfeit that migration thing. And I'm saying it because I've seen lots of crises in families like this. I grew up, seeing many of these things. Oh, father is abroad, the children are at home, the wife, or the wife is at home too. And when you had those children, growing up, I said, oh, we had friends that we don't know their parents, but we all live together. It's not funny. We even had some that were killed. They were killed, before you just know, you just say, oh, here, crisis, they've killed them. Fatherless children, not because they didn't have fathers. We don't know where their fathers are. Not because they don't have mothers. We don't know where they are. They are abroad. But, but these people, they lived large. They had everything. So there is a presence. So when we are even talking about this long distance relationship, what about the children? Before you know it, go and look at some of those children we're talking about, maybe cult members. Go and ask them. Many of them, their fathers were not present. And I'm saying the truth. Many of them, nobody was present. People, they were raised by different people, and they learned different things from different people. They learned hunger from this one. They learned good things from this one. They learned everything from different people. So So and I decided to just put that clause. People will say, oh, it's not easy, Nigeria is not good, this way is not good. At the end of the day, something has to go for something. Is either the relationship, I mean the marriage relationship, or the migration. Because there are some people who have been abroad for 30 years, they still don't have papers. And I'm talking about this kind of thing. But the children have grown. They don't even know their mothers. They only communicate by phone. But before you know it, there is no bond. There is no bond. So I don't want to talk further, but or let me just say one thing. Like I said initially, sometimes it can be form of emotional abuse, most especially when someone is the one instigating it. No, stay where I put you. And that's the word. Stay where I put you. Don't come. It's over a year. They've not seen each other. Not because the other person does not have access, but it just feels that she should just stay there, or you should just stay there. So sometimes we really need to look deep into some of the intricacies of these marriages. And like Mr. Abdul said, he has a friend who had to say, oh, yes, counseling, counseling, counseling. But some people don't like counseling. Some people cannot be taught what to do. Some people cannot even get advice from people. And that's where it now becomes, toxic. When people can just live their lives. No, I'm the man of the house, I'm the female, I'm the CEO, I'm the banker, is whatever, I'm the one bringing in money. Husband, I don't care, you stay where you are. So let's just continue. Thank you. Thank you. So over to you. Let's go around again. Mr. Abdul, I know you have so many things you want to say. Please, we want to hear you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl. You've really got to a section that probably the rest of us wouldn't even look at it. The part of the dangers of having the long distance relationship is also affects the kids, right? Because basically, from what we've all talked about, we've all been talking about the both parties involved, but you've gone down to even tell us that it also have effects on the kids, and that's good to know. I think that's the essence of this show. We also learn from each other while we talk and speak, and try to hear from the audience as well. So uh, I know we are short of time, so I'll just probably just use 30 seconds so I can allow the other guys to round up too. Basically, like I said earlier, I would encourage it, but I would encourage and ask those who are already practicing it for reasons beyond their control, and not the kind of reasons that Terry gave, saying some people would just want to, for just want to have a free life. Not for that reason, but those who are actually doing it out of reasons, genuine reasons, survival, trying to make a living, trying to ensure that they get a better life, or probably they started dating even without meeting each other. Some people just like, they even met online. So they started dating online. You understand? They probably met through relatives, met through friends, and they have to practice that distance. My final word to people in long distance relationship is, please communicate. Communicate. Always. You cannot say I'm not a good girl. You cannot say I don't want to communicate. You have to learn it. We can always learn it. Communicate, be open, and be trusting. Be trusting. You see, when you start doubting, your second part say you're probably hearing some noise. I would give an example of something that I've heard. About some guy. It's not exactly. It wasn't a long distance relationship, but they were probably working in different cities. So he usually go to visit very often. So apparently, I think this day, where he stays, the women in the compound were gisting. They were gisting loud, and his wife called. And the next thing was, who are the ladies in your house? it was it was it was so funny. It's women in the compound that are just loud. He immediately switched it to video call and started showing her. So why did she have to start doubting him? You know, as soon as your parents say, it's the women in the compound that are like, okay, yeah, okay, that's it. That's where the trust should come in. Trust should always come. Welcome, Mary. So thank you. Good to see you, Mary. So that's up for me for now, yeah?
Hi, Mars. We are going to adjust this time. This UK time is going back to Nigeria time. We need to be having you around. I think the time is really affecting some of us. It's quite early from UK, but it's fine.
Apologies for joining late.
Can I give my own submission? You know, I came late and I feel like I'm just starting and you guys are closing. That's very, very, feels very bad. But anyway, in addition to all the good points that have been raised, I just want to talk a bit about the need to adopt the benefit of technology, which has made long distance relationships a bit easier than it used to be. In those days, if he is or if she is in UK and you are in Nigeria, you guys just don't see. Maybe you write letters, you don't hear your voices, and so it was really, really bad. But now we have the benefit of technology. You can almost see people, you can feel them, you can almost feel like you're with them. However, it will never ever replace physical contacts. But please, for those in this situation, not out of their own will, combine what Abdullah said about communication as well as making good use of the technology such as the video calling and all that. I know Abdullah has talked about it too, but I just needed to stress that. Lastly, I would say that I want to address those who are in this situation on purpose. I know a few people. They give. See, let me tell you, the thing that is never scarce is excuse. There's always an excuse not to do something or to do it. If you don't want to carry your partner along, there will always be a million excuses. Please, you can't eat your cake and have it. There is a purpose for marriage, and marriage, one of it is, like Tunde has said, is companionship. God looked at Adam and felt for him. This man is alone. Let me make a partner for him. And same with the woman. If you are that type that likes to be alone, you're that type that likes to be free. There is nobody that is saying you must get married. Marriage is not a must. You can even have children out of wedlock. But if you've decided to carry someone to the altar and say you are my wife or my husband, please, it is not fair. I'm saying it. I'm one of those that will preach it. That you then tie people down. You purposely make them not to have access to you. You want to be able to control them, but you don't want them to have access to you. It's not fair. Those are the people that we are against. We're not against those who are separated from circumstances not of their own and who are making effort. Maybe their effort sometimes may not be yielding fruits. We're talking about those who are purposely separating themselves from their family. They do not see the need to be part of the training of their children. If they are men, they feel that all I need is to send money. And I can tell you one thing for sure, no matter how rich you are in future, if your children turn out to be a problem, your money will mean nothing to you. In fact, you will wish to exchange your money to have responsible adults as children. That would be my final words. Sorry for taking more time, just that because I just wanted to say a few things. Thank you, moderator.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much. Over to you, Sister Maz. We are delighted to see you, to have you tonight.
Thank you
again.
so much. Thank you. And I apologize for joining in late. The timing for me is not really the best, but it is what it is. I know Abdul has stressed a lot about in the talk, and I think you guys have touched a lot of things. For me, what I would like to say, and I don't know if it's been said already, know thyself. Especially this category goes to those who are still single and you're going through a relationship. Know thyself. At least you've not married yet. Know thyself. Are you able to withstand winter on your own? If no, please rethink your options. Are you able to stay without seeing that person for a long time? That's before you even commit into something that is more serious. Because as you said, some people are in it, but it's not something they kind of preempted. It happened, life gave it to them, and they have to work with it, where you have to move to another country or move to another state and work. Maybe they're already married and that happened. That's a different case. But in that situation still, in the marriage situation where you're already married and you're in different locations, I would say you should have a plan in place. Talk about it. Communicate, openly communicate about it. If you need anything, who do I talk to? Do you have friends around, family friends around, or relatives around that can support the spouse? And again, be careful who you hand over your spouse to. You now come back and see that it's your best friend that is in the kitchen cooking. You have become the no open door. You know how you are doing it. So sometimes it's even better that you even send your grandmother from somewhere to come and be dropping the food than for you to even say my cousin that is in the city can cook for you. You're on your own, or when that kind of situation happen. I'm not even joking. I'm not even going to look at the men's face. Men are not to be joked with. They said the way to a man's heart is food. I miss many other things. Sometimes the way they think is different. And before you know what's happening, it's apologies. And can you eat sorry? No, you cannot. Sorry cannot change what's happened. So I would say, know thyself, know who you hand over your wife to. Even there are some men that are out there, they are wolves. They're already, and they're even you are married, even they, and they even say to your face that well, what can marriage stop? When marriage doesn't stop it, nobody will know. These are responsible people. Some people of them are even clergymen. Some of them are even your alphas that you are even looking at. They will tell you, if you don't talk, who will know? The secret is between two of us. And this is the person you are taking your wife to go and be praying with, that God should do. Be careful who you hand over your spouse. Be careful who you allow around your cycle. Be very sensitive. Be very sensitive, because things can be going on wrong. And if you are taking not ordinary eyes to look at things, you might not be able to assess it, to understand that something is going wrong. And if all else fails, that you're not able to relocate within the time frame that you've agreed on, go back to the drawing board. What can you? I've had families that have had to, UK didn't allow them. They were not able to get the other spouse here. They relocated to Australia. They played there. They worked out, and they both all met in Australia. There are other places. You don't die on UK. Don't die on one option. There are other options. Let's open our eyes. Let's ask God for understanding. Let's ask people as well. Communicate. Ask people how they are doing. There are different ways of doing it. And finally, another thing I would say is, even if you're away and you have family and you have your wife and taking care of the children, or your husband taking care of the children, please be present still. Take time to talk to them. Send money. Some people, out of mind is out of sight is out of mind. Send money. Talk to them on the phone. Do video calls. Talk to these people. Send gifts. Buy things and send home. Just surprise them. Even send, maybe a Pizza Hut or something you can order and to come to their house directly. Do that. Don't just leave it. Don't just say, oh, I'm far away. No, there are bridges we can make to kind of substitute for what's going on. Thank you very much.
Wow, very powerful. Very powerful. And I like the fact that, you went straight to the point. You didn't try to, hide things. And I've seen a lot of ladies whose confidences has been shattered because of long distance relationships, because perhaps growing up their fathers were not present, so they didn't really know what it means to have someone present, and then so anybody can just treat them anyhow. They don't even have esteem. They are beautiful. Their self-esteem has been shattered because of maybe because the man is abroad and they are stuck. And I used to think that, can't you think? Sometimes I think like that, and sometimes I think, like I just look at women sometimes like, why are you doing this to yourself? It's not what people say about you that makes you you. It's what you say about yourself that makes you you. It's what you think about yourself. For some people, they've been stuck in this kind of relationship, they've been stuck. No, they are not moving forward. Sometimes the thing is, they make us think everything is good, but many times damages has gone, has occurred. Even though, oh, this man sends me this, or Facebook, some of those things are embedded in lies, and people know. People know, the shame itself, would not even want people to, we would not even want people to even talk about some of these things. They'll know, oh, it's okay, everything is not okay, my dear sister. Some of those men, like, as Sister Mass pointed out, they're enjoying themselves. Even though, yes, they are saying, oh, they're in a long distance relationship, but this emotional aspect of touch, or physical touch, or intimacy, that man is getting it from somewhere.
And body no be firewood. Body no be
No.
firewood. Even the woman too will be feeling it too. But they will
Yes,
always tell us that the Lord is your strength.
it's
Yes, the
like,
Lord
keep
is our
praying,
strength, but you
sister,
need
keep
more
praying,
to hold your
keep
side.
praying.
What is your strength can be the pastor that is giving strength.
And the man, the Lord is not his own strength, though. Women are his own strength.
Says who?
Women, it
Says
is
who? Says who? Shehu? The
Ourselves.
Lord is everybody's strength. Who says
no,
the
no,
Lord does not
no, in
belong
that
to the man?
aspect, no.
Yes,
Mister,
even in that aspect, true. No, no, no,
talking
Madam
about
Shehu.
men who are womanizing.
Even in that aspect, the Lord is everybody's strength. Yes,
That's what you mean, sir. The Lord is their strength, and He will make them pure. God will make us pure. So it's
exactly.
it's 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 tough. It's tough.
But we have to
Thank you.
actually make ways. We have to explore different options of having to end the long distance, because it cannot continue forever. No, it's
Jesus.
not. There are some people that that's the default setting. They can't even live together anymore.
Yes.
Why? I don't understand you. I don't know. Do you get it?
It
I don't
affects them in
understand
their
it.
old age. They don't even want to stay
Yes,
together. They are just
Mars,
fighting.
Mars, before you came on board, like I said earlier, people should seek counseling. When it comes to reuniting after long distance relationship. I gave an example of a friend who was going to reunite. He said to me, he said, look, we both have to go and seek counseling because my lifestyle, while she was in another city working, yes, the kids were with me. I have someone taking care of them, but I go to work, from work, I'm off to the gym. I go to from gym, I go to play with the boys. I go to hang out and I'm back. But now this woman is going to go. We need to seek counseling. So people should learn to seek help because the lifestyle is going to change. Because if they did not do that, I bet you there was going to be a whole lot of issues when she finally moved over. But apparently everything went on smoothly for them and they're doing perfectly well. You understand?
Yeah, I know we're about to close, but there was one question someone just sent to me, and it says, is it a question or is it a statement that let me read it, that sometimes long distance relationship helps to reduce conflicts. That when people are separated, what he's trying to say there is when people are separated, they cope better. If you ask me, it looks like that's like a mirage. You know what a mirage is? When you
Smoking
you
mirrors.
you're seeing water, you're in the desert, you are looking far, you are seeing water, you are going after it. You see the calm and beauty that comes with being away. It's fake. And why do I say it's fake? It does not last. Why do I say it does not last? Let's say you and your spouse used to always have issues and you decide to separate, and you separate for 8 years, and in 8 years there is peace. You guys call each other, oh my love, and everything. When you come back, it will be like starting from scratch. You know what I'm saying? But if your reason of separating is because of that, and I'm not saying there is no good choice of separating for a short, but in terms of long time, you will find that there will be more production. It will be more productive staying together and trying to work out those conflicts than trying to enjoy the fake peace that comes with being apart. And you think things are now okay. Things are not okay. They
Yeah,
are
it
only
goes back to
okay.
what Abdul said. You need
Yeah.
to seek counsel. They need to, basically what they are doing is sweeping it under the carpet. It will still come out.
Yes.
You need to address the elephant in the room. Whatever is causing that drift needs to be addressed, and it's counseling. Most times it's better. And for me, the way counseling has worked for me, and I take that, I'm telling you, this method has never failed me. Don't call your people that are close to you to do counseling. It's a lie to not work. People that don't know you, neutral party, they are the ones that will be able to say this. They won't fear your face. They will. You can report to family members maybe for this thing, but if you want correct counseling, look for some. For me, oh, personally, I'm just speaking. Oh, is someone people that are neutral, that have sat and spoken and said this, and they actually showed and give us a plan, a map to walk our ways, work out, and it was not one touch go. It's something that we work on. It's working it out here and trembling till it's resolved.
Can
Okay.
I say something?
Let
Can I
let's
say
just.
something?
Okay,
Can I say
sure.
something?
You're here. Yeah, please go ahead.
Sorry, unfortunately, I can't. My device can't show the video right now. I just wanted to add to what Terry was saying, and also corroborate on that his point. You see, we are. It is this topic that we are discussing. It is very easy to confuse long distance relationship with separation.
Thank you.
See,
Thank you. That's what I was going to comment on. Thank you.
okay, so the long distance relationship, it is a mutual thing. There's understanding between the two people that are involved. When issues of conflict um, is what engenders separation in physically, if it is conflict, it is no longer a long distance relationship because communication will be missing. And once communication is missing, there is no relationship again, and therefore it cannot be termed as long distance relationship. It is as good as calling it that you guys are separated. If it is marriage, it's as good as it might not you might be separated. You are separated, but you did not. It's a mutual thing within yourself that you know that this me and this person we are separated, but you did not say to yourself that look, I want to go separate ways with you for now. You can do that without saying it, without verbalizing it. So the key thing here is that we should know that conflict cannot engender, cannot we cannot say that because of there is conflict and you now create a physical separation between two couples, then it makes it a good thing. There's no there's no positive in long distance marriage now, specifically marriage now because of course unfortunately Innocent is not here. He was trying to school us to understand that there's long distance marriage and there's long distance relationship. Now for the marriage, the fact is there's hardly any good in a long distance marriage. It does more harm than good. I'm sorry that I'm belaboring the points. It makes the both parties more vulnerable, and like Maz was saying, um, you are exposed to temptations. So if there are conflicts, I for couples that are staying together, once they were once staying together, and now they now feel that the best way is to be separated physically. Like Tony said, it's a mirage. It is a you don't call that a long distance relationship or long distance marriage. It's best to be called that both of you are separated on your way to being divorced if care is not taken. I just wanted to point it out. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tunde Gold. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Abdul, maybe we can hear from you, and that may be the last. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. I don't know. It looks like Mars is patiently waiting to hear from me. The way she's positioned her face, actually, yeah, I was trying to pick on what Tunde just said. Let's not confuse long distance relationship with that with
Hmm.
separation. That also goes to the part that Terry said, so people intentionally will just decide to live apart. I think those ones are already planning for separation.
Yeah.
They're already working towards that. Because for somebody to just intentionally say, look, I am going to live apart from this person. I'm going to live in another city from this my spouse intentionally, not by circumstances of life. I think there's already a plan because if you love your partner, if you love your spouse, your partner, amazing partner, in the sense that we are talking about both married and unmarried people in a courtship, you understand, yeah? You would not intentionally say, look, I want to live apart from this person. So we are I would personally not encourage that. But if situation of happens, life happens in terms of better life, work, let me go for 2 months, but something happened, I'm having to stay for 6 months, I'm having to stay for 1 year. Please always keep the communication line open, and agreements is very key. In the buying. Agreement is agreement, please. And when you have your agreement, stick to it. If the agreement is, like I used an example of someone that said the wife must call at 7 p.m., that is their agreement. It was a landline. This happened years ago. 7 p.m. is always in the house. There was a big uncle. He's always in the house at 7 p.m. It was their agreement, and it worked for them perfectly. I don't know if he's still working now because apparently later he went into politics and all that. So I don't know if he's or she's probably back. We've lost communication, but when you have an agreement based on certain second, please stick to the agreement, and ultimately long distance relationship can work if the both parties want to make it work. It can work, and I believe it is working for those who are doing it rightly. It is working for them. That's my submission for tonight. Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you so much, Mr. Abdul. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. I'm looking at Sister Maz.
Yeah, I was just going to say, because Abdul said something at the end of his topic. Yeah, it can work, but it's not meant to be permanent.
It's not meant to be
I want
permanent
to
yet.
put that underlying this thing. It's not meant to be permanent. The moment you look at it as a permanent arrangement, or more, it defeats the aim of the marriage. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Like for
Mas,
instance,
that's what we talked about. Yeah, if you decide to make it permanent, you're already working towards separation.
separation.
Any long distance relationship is a temporary. It should be a temporary thing caused by situation and circumstances of life that has happened at that particular
Thank you
time.
for saying that. It's the way you ended it, the way you said it
Oh
with full
no,
chest, that
no, no. I know
it
that.
can work.
No,
And I said, yes, it can work, but it's not meant to be permanent.
no, no. Yes, it can work. No, what I mean, it can work. We're talking about the period. People
Yeah.
shouldn't see that as soon as we are going to have a long distance relationship, I'm not doing again. There are people that will say, look, if you are, yes, we've heard of cases where the partner got job in another city, and the man say, as soon as you go, it's over.
Yeah.
I can't stay. Yeah, I was one situation whereby so like before you came on board, Sister Shehu gave us gave us an example. Was it Sister Shehu, yeah, of someone that and now as it is that there's already a pregnant woman with him in the house. You understand? So that one decided to make it a permanent situation. But long distance, it shouldn't be permanent at all. It's a temporary fix to settle the situation of life that has happened to them at that time. Or at the start of relationship, some people met online, some people met through referrals, you know. So at the start, but as soon as they're able to reunite, please, people should come back together well, because like you said, body no be firewood.
So as long as there is that active attempt to come together, then it's fine. It's when you've both given up, then there might be a problem. That active can take years, and it's not it's not of your own doing. It's still fine. We can't be blaming you for that. But the moment you give up, then you go into the class that we are saying you have decided to separate. Okay. Thank you so much, moderator.
Everyone, just one more thing. Money is not everything. If you look at the core of some of these separations or long distance relation, it's just money. Oh, I'm making money, so I can't come back home. At the end of the day, even people, I tell people will sell puff puff on the streets. Go and look at their children. They don't have anything. Oh. We think they don't have anything, but they are selling puff puff. They are with their children and their spouses. They are all together. Just give them a matter of time. They will grow together and they will flourish together. That's my solution. So let's be together, let's grow together so that the family too can grow together. And greatness, you will see greatness as in like flowing. So it's not just about money, it's not just about that distance. God bless us all. We are grateful. Thank you everyone for staying tuned up until this time. We are grateful. Thank you to our co-host. Thank you. We are grateful, everyone. Thank you so much. See you again next week.